Time now for Westminster's toughest talking MP, Deputy Chair of the Conservative Party, Lee Anderson. And in yet another example of the Be Kind Left's stunning hypocrisy, a new British film centred around a plot to murder Boris Johnson has been selected for screening at the Cannes Film Festival. Now, it's called Killing Boris Johnson, and it's the only British entry where student director Musa Alderson-Clarke said he wanted the film to, quote, immortalise the feeling that myself and so many others experienced during the pandemic. Watch.
My memory of this event, as I've said, is going out into the garden for about 25 minutes. I just repeat, I'm deeply sorry for this. This was something that was against the rules. It was a breach of the code.
This absolutely despicable film, backed by the National Film and Television School, no less, was the only British entry selected for the student short film category at Cannes. So, Lee Anderson, apparently it's now also going to be eligible for an Oscar. Does this just show that the Be Kind left and the entertainment industry has hit a new low when it comes to their coverage of Conservative politics?
It has. It's shocking. The clue's in the title. We just saw that then. Some deranged lunatic loading up a shotgun. There's a picture, supposedly of Boris there. This is a new level, Dan, that people have sunk to in this country. Like you say, it's the Be Kind left. It's the tolerant ones. It's the kind of gentler politics. Some left-wing lunatics have obviously got their heads together to produce this sort of film. Shock! I can't believe I'm seeing it, actually. I mean, I saw it for the first time today. I read a little bit about it. I thought, this has got to be parody, surely. It's got to be nonsense. But actually, it's just a film festival. It could go to the Oscars. What are we playing at in this country? Absolutely shocking.
It is the only British entry at Cannes.
If that's the best we've got for our filmmakers, then we've got problems in this country. I'm sure it's not, by the way, but it just shows, it shows the direction that some people in this country are going to. To have a title like that is absolutely abhorrent.
And it would never be acceptable, and it shouldn't be acceptable, by the way, if it was the reverse. I mean, if there was a film made called Killing Angela Rayner, it would be leading every news bulletin in this country, and it would be completely unacceptable. But what about the hypocrisy? And I want to actually ask you about this shocking moment we saw over the weekend. I mean, what an amazing weekend it was, Lee, but unfortunately, there were parts of our media that seemed so desperate to bring down unity in Britain. And there was this moment on ITV when the British actress described the Buckingham Palace balcony scene where the royal family stepped out as being terribly white. And to me, that also felt like a huge moment of hypocrisy.
Well, shock and horror, Dan. The royal family are white. They, they marry white people normally. They have white children. Then they all go on the balcony at a special event like this. Hey, presto, they're all white. What do they really expect? It's
terribly
nonsense. It's divisive. It's nasty. It's horrible. I've made some comments over the weekend as well. I said, I mentioned the protesters, which I think I'll come on to later. Look, this was a special occasion. It was a lovely occasion. It's one of those occasions where the whole country unites and gets behind the royal family, get behind each other. We're all nice to each other for a weekend, and you get some idiot come on the TV and try and spoil it all. Then just shut up.
Indeed. Indeed. And, of course, there's been, I think, 4,500 complaints to Ofcom today. So the bloke on the BBC who said, oh, you haven't upset anyone, well, he's proven to be completely untrue. We did actually just have a very fiery clash, Lee, between one of the Republican protesters and Lady Victoria Harvey. Now, Lady V is with you. She just says the Republicans, if they don't like it, should leave the country. Do you stand by those comments?
Well, I made some comments last week, as you know, Dan, got me in hot water. And my comment is quite simple. If you don't like our British way of life, our culture, our history, our royal family, then what the hell are you doing here? You've got a free choice. You can go and live elsewhere. I'm proud to be British. I'm proud to have a royal family. I'm proud to live in this brilliant country of ours. This country, as I said before on this show, is a gift to the world. We're lucky to live in this country. You know that, Dan. And if you don't like it, then, you know what, get on a dinghy and go to France.
There's been some suggestion, Lee, that it was maybe your confrontation with the Met Police Chief, Mark Rowley, which actually sparked a bit of a tougher approach. Let's just have a look at what went down in case folk missed it.
I think it's time that you left the ivory tower and got out there on Whitehall and sorted these people out. You say you took 5 years out of the force. There's probably people listening to this today wish it was a lot longer, and I'm one of them.
I'm not going to sit here. If people want to be personally offensive, then write it in newspapers, but I'm not going to answer those questions.
Shots fired, Lee Anderson. OK, so first you've got to tell me, What's the beef? What's the background there?
Well, I mean, he was personally offensive to me. He sat in that select committee. In my opinion, he treated us like idiots. And the big beef I've got, Dan, is we see these protesters on an almost weekly basis now on Whitehall around London, causing disruption and mayhem, stopping ambulances, stopping buses, stopping taxi drivers, stopping us getting to work. And he sat there in his ivory tower doing nothing about it. So I collared him. It was my chance to have a go at him, and a real go at him because he deserved it. Hey, presto, 24 hours later, they was on Whitehall. The police were dragging these protesters off and putting them on the pavement. He was saying they hadn't got the laws to do this. They have got the laws to do this, and they're doing it right now. So what he was saying in the Select Committee meeting was not true. I'm glad I had the chance to challenge him and stand up for the people of this great city of ours, and they're doing it now. So, yeah, I'm not going to take all the credit for it, but he needed telling.
The thing that annoys me, Lee, is that, look, they did it for the coronation.
Yeah.
But why are they not doing it when you have these eco-terrorists standing in the middle of the M25
Yep.
or stopping poor kids getting to school?
Yep.
That's where they need to be dragged off the street.
It is. Hopefully now, Dan, this will set a precedent. You know, Mark Rowley is actually doing the job he's paid to do, which is instructing his police officers to keep our streets safe. They've done it over the past week or so now since we had that confrontation. I think the coronations fell at a decent time to reinforce what he's doing. And hopefully other police forces around the country look at this now and think, you know what, let's stop painting bloody rainbows on cars and dancing the Macarena. Let's do his job, which is keeping the British public safe.
Obviously, you've got the free speech advocates,
Yes.
Which I am a part,
Me too.
who say you should be able to protest. But isn't the point... These were not protests. I mean, they were caught with rape alarms, which were going to be used to scare the horses. There were plans to cover the state coach in paint during the middle of the procession. And this is what's annoying me about this. That is not protest, is it? That is criminal damage. There are two different things going on here. People can protest all they want as long as they do it peacefully.
It is, Dan. It's criminal damage. And I'll tell you what, some of these people that we see on these protests on an almost weekly basis now, I think they're professional protesters. Fairly sure they've got 100 different placards at home for a different protest each week, and they just turn up each week and protest on a different subject. They're anarchists, exactly.
And they need to get a haircut, get a real job. Probably most of them are on benefits, being paid for by us.
Too judgmental.
Now, look, I've got to talk about this UK Eurovision entry, right, May Muller, because I'm a big fan of Eurovision usually. I'm really struggling to get behind this woman, Lee, because of the despicable comments that she has made about our country, about Boris Johnson, who she said should be left to die when he had COVID-19. And now, apparently, despite representing UK in Eurovision, she's actually applied for a German passport.
Well, good luck to her. I mean, I hope she gets it. If she becomes a German citizen, she might actually have a chance of winning the Eurovision Song Contest then, because we never seem to win it, do we? I mean, it's absolutely disgraceful. This is a lady that says she's ashamed to be British, hates this country.
She calls you a racist elite, which is quite funny.
Happy to take some of that and the fame and fortune to sing songs on behalf of this great country of ours. If she's ashamed, then good luck to her. Get your German passport. Clear off to Germany, don't come back.
I wasn't surprised to hear Keir Starmer in PMQs today say that she's one of his constituents, because this is how they all think.
It is.
In North London.
Again, it's the Metropolitan Elite. They, like I said before, Dan, on the show, they're ashamed of our country, our history, our culture, everything we stand for. He thinks that's funny. I don't think it's funny. And I tell you what, the vast majority of this country don't think it's funny.
No, indeed. Well, I'm actually not going to be watching on Saturday night because
I'll tell you what,
Conservative Democratic organisation.
If anybody's watching this now, follows me on Twitter or on Facebook, and they're watching the Eurovision Song Contest, please unfollow me.
OK, you're going to be watching GB News, right? GB News. Lee Anderson, Deputy Chairman of the Conservative Party, thank you so much. But coming